contact forms.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. So I want to present the paper I actually want to contact us quantifying the leakage of personally identifiable information via website contact forms. So my name is Oleskii, and this is a joint work with Professor Philip Agil and Professor Nick Nikiforakis, who is my advisor from Stony Brook University. So nowadays, the majority of commercial websites provide users with the ability to contact them via dedicated contact pages and contact forms. In such pages, users are typically asked to provide some kind of personally identifiable information, at least name and email address while submitting a question. And that actually makes contact pages special in terms of privacy, because we can put them in the middle between like web pages that users just browse and web pages where users explicitly accept some terms and conditions while, for example, providing credit card information for payment or like registering an account, etc. In other words, contact pages are easy gateway for users from being anonymous or more correct, pseudonymous to be eponymous, meaning identified with some kind of private information like email, name, and being tracked. And the question arises, are those pages, such sensitive pages, protected in real websites and popular websites? Because on the web, we can have like different kinds of leakage while you submit in web form. So for example, a PII leakage can be accidental if a form is being submitted with HTTP GET method, values can be revealed in URL string, and if there are like some third parties presented on a web page, they can get like those values via referrer header. This is a screenshot of our demo contact form that basically illustrates different kind of leakage. Of course, PII leakage can be also intentional if you have some scripts that explicitly try to get information that user enters on in a web form. And such intentional scripts can also be very smart, that they can postpone the transmission of captured data, they can obfuscate the data and use other stealthy techniques just to make detection of them very hard. Finally, PII leakage can be just unsuspected by a casual user. Lots of contact forms nowadays implemented via third-party web form builders and widgets. And basically that means that web form is actually being submitted first to some third-party domain. And for casual user without technical background, it's not always clear. So for the current study, we use the following classification of privacy intrusions possible on contact pages. So basically, if we are talking about PII leaks, we can separate them in terms of measurement as a potential leakage and actual leakage. And if we speak about actual leakages, we can try to distinguish between accidental leakage because of poor programming practices and intentional leakage, as I shown like some marketing scripts. So let's start. Like first task for us was to measure like potential of the leakage. And here we have like two ideas. Well, like from previous studies, we know that like majority of websites nowadays they include lots of JavaScript from third-party domains. And this is like a real potential leakage. This is like heavy trust that's going on. And another assumption that we also had that like smaller and lower ranked basically websites, they may tend to use more off-the-shelf widgets for form builders. And that's why like the reputation of these third parties can be also questionable. So we basically tested these two ideas. We crawled top 100,000 most popular websites on the web and compared how many JavaScript sources, third-party JavaScript sources they have on contact page versus on the main page. And here you see like a scatter plot, so basically a main page versus contact page. And what we see here is that fortunately, the majority of websites understand the sensitivity of contact pages and they include less JavaScript on those pages. But like we see that like for around 30% of websites, they do exactly the opposite. They use much more JavaScript on the contact pages, up to 20 times more. And another finding here that we see, so basically we see like regression lines for several ranges, like top 1,000, top 10,000, and top 100,000 popular websites. And we see that slopes actually get steeper. And that basically means that if you include more lower-ranked websites in your range, they tend to use more JavaScript on contact pages. That basically our second assumption. And this table represents examples of third parties that are more present on contact pages. So we see like that even some of domains are like JavaScripts from some domains actually present just on contact pages, and those again like include form builders or like some domains used by marketing solutions. So the second step of our study was to actually detect the actual leakage, the cases of the actual leakage. And for that, for the data collection, we implemented automatic crawler that actually can find the contact page for a website, can locate a contact form, fields and submits it with proper information, and tries to detect or infer PII leakage in the HTTP traffic. And for identification of PII in the traffic, we used like several approaches. First, like we tried to detect it like being sent in the clear or using base64 or some other popular obfuscation. And we also used like a smarter way. So we basically we submitted each form like 3 times, 2 times with the same, for example, email address, like or other kind of PII. And the third submission was done with like changed PII that we enter in the form. And then when we see some parameter, the value for some parameter in request to third-party domain being changed only on the third submission, we can infer that it may contain like obfuscated version of our PII. And of course, like after that, we can do like some manual checks, but that can help to find like different obfuscations. Yes, the results were the following. Of course, those are lower bounds, but among like top 100,000 websites, we find out that around 70% of them have contact forms. More than 6% of those forms leak PII intentionally, whether via different marketing solutions or form builders, and 2.5% leak PII accidentally. The danger is that one may underestimate this 2.5% of accidental leakage, but the thing is that indeed it's pretty risky because of great cascading effect. So let me explain. So accidental leakage is leakage via referral, right? And here we see like on hundreds of websites, we found domains that receive this PII. The thing is that those domains are really popular. For example, only one case of a leakage is enough. So googleanalytics.com or doubleclick.com will find out your PII, and they will be able to identify like this user with his real PII on like the majority of websites, on 64% or 45% of the all popular websites. So basically those are fractions of this our top 100,000 popular websites. And so yeah, it's pretty scary because also that we know that basically Google Analytics.com or DoubleClick, they already use some tracking techniques, but now they can, like after one accidental leakage, they can get even real PII and identify user on the majority of websites. Regarding the intentional leakage, we found cases when marketing solutions or form builders get your PII, and that can be done after the submission of a form. And we see here domains like wufoo.com, formstack.com that are form builders, but also we see like large marketing solutions like salesforce.com. And even some marketing solutions try to capture the data users enter in a form while these forms are being filled out. Just immediately they capture the PII and send to their backend servers. But the most intrusive leakage we found among these marketing solutions were so-called web lead scripts. So here we see a snippet of a script that basically in universal fashion iterates all web forms presented on a web page and tries to parse what kind of information is being asked in each input field. So here we see like very small part of the code, but it tries like some hard-coded values for email. And actually code resumes as I also tried to match and parse like zip code, name, and etc. Different kind of information. After that, they capture it and transmit it to own backend server. So what are those web leads? Those are different companies, basically businesses that claim that they can de-anonymize anonymous visitors to your websites. And there are like different formulation of that. For example, also like start identifying visitors today and so on. Sometimes they also provide like different additional information, like from what company or organization this visitor is, And of course, like they try to provide you some context so you can launch some targeted email marketing, for example. And they use like a set of technologies. So these Web2 technologies. Many companies use some like reverse IP lookup, IP to geolocation, just to identify like company or business of this like visitor. They analyze referral headers. They use a set of tracking techniques from cookies to different methods of fingerprinting. As we saw, like form catchers, as the script that we saw on the previous slide. Some of them also have like email traps, pretty much the same, but incorporated in emails. Some claim to provide like LinkedIn profile search, and of course they integrate everything with customer relationship management and like with other automation. The most intrusive technology that we saw on some of these web-lead providers was shared database. So let me explain how that works. For example, we have some web-lead provider that has a customer of a network of customers. Suppose like website A and website B, they are both customers of this web-lead provider. Then when a user visits website A and submits a contact form to this website, the PII being captured and sent to web-lead provider. This web-lead provider also generates some tracking identifier, whether with cookies or with fingerprinting, to track this user. Then when user just visits website B, first time never submitting any PII to this website actually gets PII captured earlier by this web-lead provider. So basically website B really de-anonymizes user and now can launch some targeted emails. So this is pretty intrusive in terms of privacy, and we really saw this like shared database in action because our crawler submitted each form like with unique email address, email identifier, and after the experiment we received like more than 300 emails from third-party domains, basically websites that our crawler never visited or never visited with this email identifier. And so really sharing is happening. We also have like statistics by category. We can claim that blogs, web communications, news media, and like business economy computers and internet-related websites, they leak more. But like such businesses, for example, like pornography, they leak less because probably for their business it's more important to keep anonymity of their customers. And we propose countermeasures in our paper. So basically we developed form lock extension that provides two functionalities. It warns user about possible leakage. For example, if form is being submitted with GET, if it's submitted to actually another third-party domain, but you don't know about that, if the protocol is HTTP, not at HTTPS. Also, we have like active protection, form locking. Basically, user can lock the form for incognito submission. And during this lock, we allow only requests to target domain. We block other requests. Also, we block storage, so like smart trackers can't save anything and transmit later. And we use like another set of techniques. So like on our demo page, we can see how it works. So basically, this form now is marked with red borders because it's leaky, and you can, like user can find out why it's leaky because it's submitted with GET method, and it basically submits to another third-party domain that differs from a website that user is visiting right now. And user can log the form and submit this form like in private. After upon releasing a lock, you will see like statistics how many third parties were actually blocked. So like, to summarize, we provided like this first large-scale study of leakage via contact pages. We measured potential risks, more than 30% of websites. We measured actual risks, more than 8% of contact forms, and we've shown this like great cascading effect. We've shown that countermeasures are possible with blocking techniques, and also like we found these like web-lead marketing solutions that are the most intrusive, and we reported them to Ghostery to enrich their database of trackers. So yeah, if you have questions, please contact us, but now like not via contact form, but via email, please. And yeah, and I also have like this URL for our form lock extension and also demo page if you want to play with it. Yeah, thank you. That's all.